All right, so these are the notes on 5.4, solving systems of nonlinear equations. First thing you want to look at is solving by substitution is one method. And so what that means is, let's say I want to solve this for y equals the top one. So it'd be y equals 9 minus x squared, which then circle that and substitute in for the other y. So it's x minus parentheses 9 minus x squared plus 3 equals, looks like 0. Distribute, we have x minus 9 plus x squared plus 3 equals 0. Rearrange, x squared, it's like minus or plus x minus 6 equals 0. It's quadratic, so it looks like we can factor that. So that factors to x plus 3, x minus 2 equals 0. So my two solutions are x equals negative 3, x equals 2. Then to find the y value, so I'm going to separate this into two different answers. So when x equals 3, y is 9 minus negative 3 squared. So y will be 9 minus 9, so my y value is 0. So this solution is, let's use a new color. My x is negative 3, y is 0. The next one, when x equals 2, same thing, y will be 9 minus 2 squared now. So y is 9 minus 4 or 5, which means the solution for this one is when x is 2, y is 5. Make sure that checks in the second equation. We pulled the answer from the first, so look at the last one. So negative 3 for x, 0 plus 3 is 0, that checks. And then 2 minus 5 is negative 3 plus that 3 is 0, so they both check. You can also check by graphing. We'll do that on the next one to verify. So in this one, it says one other option here is solve by elimination. So let's eliminate the, how about the x squared? So let's multiply the second one by negative 3. So rewrite the first one, 3x squared minus y squared equals 11. And x squared plus 4y squared is 8. So we're going to combine. Oh, that's a negative 3. Oh, I multiplied all by negative 3. No, I need to redo that. So negative 3x squared minus 12y squared equals negative 24. X squareds are gone. So I have negative 13y squared equals negative 13. So that means y squared is 1. So I have two answers for y, and they are y equals positive 1, y equals negative 1. So y squared equals 1 means y equals plus or minus 1. So like the last problem, now we have y equals 1, so we need to find x. So when y is 1, let's go to the top equation. So 3x squared minus 1 squared is 1 equals 11. So that gives me 3x squared equals 12. So x squared is 4, which means x equals plus or minus 2. What does that mean for my answer? That means when x is 2, my y is 1. And when x is negative 2, y is 1. All right, so we go to the other one. Y is negative 1, so this time I have 3x squared minus, well, if I square negative 1, I get positive 1. So this is still 3x squared minus 1 equals 11. So it looks like I have the same answer. 3x squared is 12, so x squared is 4, which means x is plus or minus 2. So my solutions this time are when x is 2, y is negative 1. And when x is negative 2, y is negative 1. So this one has 4 solutions. So what does that mean graphically? Let's look at that. So go to Desmos. All right, so this equation, type in both of them. The first one is 3x squared minus y squared equals 11. Pull the hyperbola, and then x squared plus 4y squared equals 8. So if I click on these, I can see I have a point at 2, -1, 2, 1, -2, 1, and -2, -1. So I have all 4 answers accounted for. All right, so go into the next one. All right, so it says find all solutions and check them graphically. So we need to be able to solve these without graphing them first. We're going to graph to check. So I'm going to get rid of, let's say, the x's here. So I'm going to multiply by -2. So 6x plus y squared equals 10. And then I have -6x minus y equals -10. So these are gone. So it looks like I have a y squared, add that, minus y equals 0. So it's kind of interesting when those add together. So finish this. It looks like I can factor out a y. So y and then y minus 1 equals 0, which means I have 2 solutions for y. Y is going to be 0. Y is going to be 1. So from that, I work out 2 different values to get x. I'm going to use this second equation here. So 3x minus y, or minus 0, is 5. So I get 3x equals 5. So x is 5/3. When y is 1, you get 3x minus 1 equals 5. So 3x equals 6. So x is 2. Then I want the final answer written out as x's and y's. So when x is 5/3, y is 0. And when x is 2, y is 1. So I have 2 answers on this, and let's double check that. So graph this one then. All right, so I'm going to get rid of that one. Let's look at this again. So the first equation is 6x plus y squared equals 10, and 3x minus y equals 5. So my 2 answers I can see are 1.67, which would be that 5/3 that you have, 0, and then this one is 1 -2, which was the second answer. All right, next one. Looking at this one, I can see if I multiply the top one maybe by -1, the x squareds would go away. So let's do that. Multiply that one by -1. So then I have -x squared -y squared equals -10. And then x squared plus 2y squared minus 7y equals 0. Combine. So the x's are gone. So then I have a -y squared, a y squared. I just get y squared minus 7y equals, add over here, -10. So let's set that to 0. So y squared minus 7y plus 10 equals 0. So we can factor that. Let's look at that. So it looks like I have y minus 2, y minus 5, which means my 2 solutions are then y equals 2 or y equals 5. So from this, I want to work this out. So let's, the top equation actually looks better this time. So x squared plus 2 squared is 10. So x squared plus 4 equals 10. So that means x squared is 6. So x will be plus or minus the square root of 6. So that's really kind of a strange little answer how we have to write it now. So you will write that as, let's do positive square root of 6 and 2. And then x is negative square root of 6, comma 2. So that's 2 of my answers so far. All right, when y equals 5, I get x squared plus, I use purple again. So I get x squared plus 5 squared now equals 10. So x squared plus 25 is 10, which means x squared is -15. Can I work that out? No, that's not an answer there. So it looks like this one has 2 answers. Let's make sure they're right. All right, so graphing these, the first one is, oops, Find that again. So the first one is x squared plus y squared equals 10. And then the second equation is x squared plus 2y squared minus 7y equals 0. I can see my answers are here. I have two solutions. They meet twice. So 2.449, I'm guessing that is the square root of 6, 2, and negative 2.4492. So let's look at what is the square root of 6. Just punch that in the calculator. Square root of 6 is at 2.449. So yeah. So we are correct. All right, this says day 2, but we're going to knock it all out in day 1. All right, this one's a little interesting. So I have x squared y equals 16 and x squared plus 4y plus 16 equals 0. So a couple options here. I could take the top equation, solve for y. I could take the bottom equation, solve it for x squared, and substitute that. Actually, that might be the easiest. So let's do x squared would equal negative 16 minus 4y, and substitute that in for that x squared. So parentheses, I have negative 16 minus 4y times a y equals 16. Distribute that out, so negative 16y minus 4y squared equals 16. Rearrange, set to 0, so I get negative 4y squared minus a 16y minus a 16 equals 0. Let's factor out a negative 4. So then y squared plus a 4y plus a 4 equals 0, and you can factor that. So y plus 2 quantity squared is 0. So I can see why one solution for y is negative 2. So then let's use that top equation. It's kind of nice. So then I have x squared times negative 2 is 16. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. So I get x squared is negative 8. Is that possible? Nope. So this is no solution, which means the two graphs do not meet. So let's look at that. All right, so the first equation is x squared y. Let me get this up. So x squared y equals 16. Call the hyperbola, and then x squared plus 4y plus 16 equals 0. That's a parabola opening down, and we can see no matter how much we look at those, they do not meet, so no solution. All right, number 2 in this set. X minus 2y equals 2, and y squared minus x squared equals 2x plus 4. Well, neither one's nice, so let's solve, you know what, let's solve this one for x. So this would be y squared minus x squared minus a 4 equals 2x. So y squared over 2 minus x squared over 2 minus 2 is x. Not nice at all, so maybe this is not the way to go. Let's not do that. That is a terrible plan, so we're going to put a big x in that. Don't go there. All right, let's try another way. Let's solve that one for x. So x would equal 2 plus 2y. I'm guessing this is a whole lot cleaner, so I'm going to get rid of this. And let's substitute in for that x and that x. Still not nice, but it looks better. So I have y squared minus parentheses 2 plus 2y quantity squared equals 2 times 2 plus 2y plus 4. All right, so let's distribute, do all that stuff. Let's do a color here. So this is a y squared minus, so I'm going to put side note here for that. So that is actually 2 plus 2y times 2 plus 2y. So multiplying that out, I'm going to put a parenthesis here. So I get 4 plus it looks like an 8y plus a 4y squared equals 4 plus 4y plus 4. Combine like terms, so that's going to give me a y squared and a negative 4y squared. Combine those, so I have a negative 3y squared minus an 8y minus a 4 equals the other side is going to be a 4y plus 8. So let's minus a 4y from both sides and subtract 8 on both sides. Let's see, what do we have now? So that's going to give me a negative 3y squared, negative 12y, negative 12 equal to 0. So factor out a negative 3, so I have y squared plus 4y plus 4 equal to 0. So that's a negative 3, and then y plus 2 quantity squared equals 0. So that means y is negative 2. All right, so we're going to use that top equation. So I know then that, let me get a new color. I know x minus 2y is 2. So that's going to be x minus 2 times negative 2 equals 2. Change that to y, that's an x. So this is really x plus 4 equals 2. So subtract 4, x is negative 2. So my solution is negative 2, negative 2. All right, let's make sure that's right. So graphing this one. So x minus 2y equals 2. And y squared minus x squared equals 2x plus 4. Looks like we have one point of intersection down here at negative 2, negative 2. Is that what we came up with? Yes. All right, this one's kind of entertaining. Follow the hint and solve the system. So let's see here. Add the equations and factor the result. Okay, so let's add these and see what happens. I have an x squared. If I add the xy and xy, I'd get a 2xy plus a y squared equals 4. All right, so then we think, oh, I can factor that. So this factors to x plus y quantity squared is 4, which if I were to solve that, I could say x plus y equals plus or minus 2. So that means that x plus y can be 2, or x plus y can be negative 2. All right, let's see what good that does us. Look at that first equation up here. So these are just kind of fun. Just look at them and see what you got. So if I look at this first equation, that's the same as saying x times x plus y is 1. Let's use that. So if x times x plus y is 1, that means x times 2 is 1. So that means 1x is 1/2. All right, how about the next one? So x times x plus y equals 1. So this is x times my x plus y is, so I'm putting it into this. So x times x plus y, so my x plus y is negative 2 equals 1. So this would be x equals negative 1/2. All right, so from that I have 2 things I need to find the y's. All right, let's look at that then. So we can say x is 1/2, x is negative 1/2. So let's go to the other equation. So I have x, and it says xy plus y squared is 3. Actually, I think my life will be better if I choose just this thing here. My x is 1/2 times 1/2 plus y equals to 1. So distribute, I have 1/4 plus 1/2 y equals 1. Now let's make this easier. Multiply by 2 here. So 1/2 plus y is 2, which means y is 1/2. So this solution would be when x is 1/2, y is 1/2. X is negative 1/2, same thing. So I have negative 1/2 times negative 1/2 plus y equals 1. So this time I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 2. So this side I have negative 1/2 plus y equals negative 2. So add a half to both sides. So y is also negative 1.5. Final answer then, when x is negative 1/2, y is negative 1.5. All right, let's see if those check. Okay, the first equation is x squared plus y squared equals 17, circle. And then x squared minus 2x plus y squared equals 13. All right, so let's look at those. So I have an answer, a solution at 2 and 3.606. Did I write something in wrong? Oh, I put the wrong equations in. How about the other one? Let's go here. Do the right equations. All right, so this one is x squared plus xy equals 1. And xy plus y squared equals 3. There we go. So where do they meet? It looks like that's 0.5 and 1.5, and then negative 0.5 and negative 1.5. And understand, this is not the only way to solve these. I could have solved both of those for xy, and the first one would be in 1 minus x squared, and the second one would have been 3 minus y squared. Lots of options to solve these. All right, last one. No, almost last one. Use the graphical method to find all solutions. So this one we are only going to graph, so let's look at that one. Oh, right. So let's graph this one just by graphing. Solve by graphing. So x squared plus y squared equals 17. And x squared minus 2x plus y squared equals 13. All right, so if I solve, looks like I have 2 circles here. My first one is, so my first answer is 2.3606. So 2 comma 3.606. And then the other one is 2 comma negative 3.606. All right, we just write the answers down on this one. So the first answer is 2 and 3.606. The second answer is 2 and negative 3.606. All right, last one. The perimeter of a rectangle is 70. So what that means is 2 L's plus 2 W's has to be 70. Let's make that nicer. So I could say that is L plus W is 35. Let's do that. Its diagonal is 25. So if I have the width and the length, and this is 25, I can use Pythagorean theorem. So L squared plus W squared is 25 squared. Well, it looks like I can just take that equation that's here and solve for L or something. Yeah, let's solve for L. So L we could say is 35 minus W, and substitute that in here. So 35 minus W, quantity squared, plus W squared is 25 squared. So work off to the side with this. 35 minus W squared is 35 minus W, 35 minus W. So 35 times 35 is 1225. It's going to be a minus of 70W plus W squared out of that. So we go down here and write that. So 1225 minus 70W plus W squared plus another W squared equals 25 squared, which is 625. All right, so set that to 0. So 2W squared minus 70W. So then I take 1225 minus 625 is 600. Equal to 0. So it looks like we can factor out a 2, do that. So W squared minus 35W minus 300 equals 0, so does that factor? I'm hoping. So 300 divided by, let's go 30. It's 10 and 30 now. 300 divided by 15. 15 and 20 works. So minus 15 minus 20. So then I can see W is 15 or W is 20. And so then we know that L plus W is 35. So if W is 15, my L has to be 20. So that will add. And if W is 20, my L is 15. So label those answers and they are in, we don't know. So just leave them like that. So it could be 15 by 20 or 20 by 15.